Hi, my name's Doug Coltart. I'm a lawyer here in Harare. I do quite a lot of human rights law. I also enjoy dancing, hanging out with people, and I'm a very passionate Zimbabwean. I really want what is best for our country and for our continent. I'm a Pan-Africanist. Really believe that if we work together as Africans, that we can really take our continent forward. We really have a serious crisis in the health sector. Our hospitals are under-equipped, but even worse than that, our health professionals are not respected and valued by the state. They are horrendously underpaid and not looked after. And when they try to raise their concerns with the state, we end up seeing, instead of the state engaging with them, they are persecuted, in the worst instances, even abducted and tortured. Now we have seen this thing of saying, that they will be recruited into the military, which is really just a way of trying to take away their labor rights. And I think until you value your health personnel, which is the greatest asset in any healthcare system, is your health workers, we won't have a functional healthcare system. The same goes for education. Where the state doesn't seem to value our educators, our teachers, who are our greatest asset and in whose hands we place our children's future, and yet the state pays them peanuts, and whenever they try to negotiate on genuine labor issues, they end up becoming the victim of gross human rights atrocities. So it's a real tragedy. We have a serious problem in that, for the person on the street, you look at and see that cases are not being treated alike. People are not equal before the law. Some people, often it's those who are accused of corruption, of real, genuine corruption, grand-scale corruption, who are let off, and then those who are exposing corruption, who are exercising their right, who are denied bail for months on end. We've really seen a weaponization of the criminal law as a way of trying to silence people, as a way of trying to stop people from exercising their rights. And it's a huge problem which we as a nation have to stand up to and to figure out, how do we achieve a functional justice system that people can actually respect, so that people value and respect the rule of law, because of course that's what we all want. We want for there to be respect for rule of law. But when people see that the system is so discriminatory in how people are treated, people, that respect for the rule of law starts to break down. The biggest tragedies about this ongoing crisis that we've had in Zim for so many decades now is that rot, which maybe a few decades ago was at the top, has started to seep down into the whole of society, into you and me. And when that starts to change, when the rot around us starts to change our own value system, we're in for a serious problem, and it's going to take a really long time to really bring the nation back to the values once you uproot that rot. But I think and don't get me wrong, we need to start with ourselves and say no to corruption at a personal level. But I think that we're not going to deal with that petty corruption at an individual level until you uproot the source of the problem, which is really the grand scale corruption at the national level, which is being perpetrated by a tiny political elite that really are willing to extract the national resources so that they grossly enrich themselves and keep the masses in dire poverty. Between you and I, illegal, that we can't say anything which could be deemed as negatively impacting the image of the country. We just have to sit around and sing Kumbaya only and say, look at the beautiful animals and the Vic Falls, and that's the only thing that you can say about your country. Of course, we want to promote a good image of our country, and you and I think we do that as well, where we see good things, where we see our sports teams doing well, where we see people shining, of course we want to promote that. But to say that you can't speak out against things that we see in our country means that we've reached the peak, that we can't get any better, right? You're saying that this is where it's at, we can't get any better. And if we can't strive to be better by pointing out what's wrong or what could be done better, then we become stagnant as a nation and we're only going backwards. A few years ago in 2017, I would have told him, you have an opportunity to create a legacy for yourself by actually transforming this country, repealing the oppressive laws, allowing people to speak out, encouraging the creativity and development. Sadly, I think he's really squandered that opportunity. And over the last few years, the atrocities that we have seen perpetrated under his rule are so horrific that I don't think that there would be anything else other than to say, Mr. President, it's time to step down and allow a new generation of people who actually are willing to take this country forward to take the reins, because clearly you're only taking us backwards. You're taking us not just backwards to the Mugabe era, you're taking us back to the oppression and the exploitation of the colonial era. And that's something which we never wanted, and it's a real tragedy. I mean, I think courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to overcome that fear. And I think what helps me to overcome that fear is the vision that I have for a better Zimbabwe, the type of Zimbabwe that I want my kids to grow up in, where they can pursue whatever their dreams are and be able to really make a life for themselves, not to have to look over their shoulder about, is there a tinted car that's following me? That's the vision that I have, the dream that I have, and that keeps me going. I think, and at a deep level, for me personally, I'm grounded in my faith in God, and I really believe that once I put my faith in Christ, I can't lose my life, and that gives an incredible freedom. And of course, we have to take precautions. I'm not saying that we should be reckless. We should certainly be wise. And we were talking earlier about how do you toe the line? How do you make sure that you stay on the right side of the law? How do you mitigate against those risks? Certainly, those are questions that I ask myself every day to try and ensure that I keep myself safe and my family safe. But at the end of the day, we can't let threats stop us from attaining the Zimbabwe that we want.